fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams, and I'm so thrilled that you're joining me today. On today's show, we are going to explore some West Coast vibes in our city. I'm taking you inside of the trendy Mercado restaurant, and they specialize in Cali-Mexican cuisine. And we are continuing this week by learning things that we need to know to prepare for the new year. So licensed realtor Alison Rhinehart is back in studio to give us the real estate rundown. And later in the show, we'll learn some strategies to set realistic exercise goals. That and more after the break.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
I am here on the landing in downtown Fort Wayne outside of Mercado restaurant. I am so excited to talk about their Cali-Mexican cuisine that they offer, taste their menu, and mix up some cocktails. Come on. Joining me now is Johnny Perez, who is the owner of Mercado. Hi, Johnny.
Hey, how you doing?
Great to be here.
Glad to have you out.
Well, congratulations on this amazing establishment that you have created. I mean, you brought some flavor to Fort Wayne from California, which is where you were born, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, so tell me about the creation of this restaurant.
Yeah, so we started as a food truck in 2019, and I've always just wanted to open my own restaurant. And we had the opportunity to open one on the landing, and kind of having family on the West Coast, like I remember those flavors, and a little bit different than what you can find in the Midwest, right? And that's kind of where we kind of coined like the Cali-Mex, and people always ask, what does that mean?
Right.
So it's kind of bringing those West Coast flavors to the Midwest, and hopefully we can show you some of those dishes later.
Yes, I'm excited. I mean, the Cali-Mexican theme, you know, I've lived in California for a long time, and so I was excited to see that flair. Now, I'm also from Texas, so Tex-Mex is something that we're used to, so explain to me specifically the Cali-Mexican vibe.
Yeah, so Cali-Mex, so like for me, being Mexican-American, I grew up with traditional flavors from my grandmother and family members, but kind of just having them wrapped up in like the freshness of what Cali food is, right?
Okay.
Making sure that we're searing things properly, adding that little fresh lime at the end, and then kind of getting away from like maybe heavy loaded cheese on everything.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of one thing that kind of defines, I think, what Cali-Mex is. It's just fun, it's zesty, it's serious, but whimsical at the same time.
Yes, whimsical and very trendy.
100%.
And that's the vibe that I feel when I walk in and I look at your decor and just the tiling and the open space of the bar. It gives me cool vibes. So it's a cool place to hang out here on the landing. And so I know you all do lunch, you do dinner, brunch, but you also have these specialty craft cocktails. So tell me about that mix-up.
Yeah, so Spencer, who's helped open the bar program, has a really good focus on agave. So we have different types of mezcal. We probably have the largest selection of mezcal, different types of tequilas, bacanora, sotol. So you can come and take flights even with different size portions to kind of taste a little bit of what's behind the bar.
Yeah.
And I think honestly the best margaritas in town.
Yum. Okay, well that's good to know. The best in town. You heard it here. And so tell me about so you've been around for 2 years, correct? And you're on the landing. Tell me about some of the events that you have, because I know you do special stuff throughout the year.
Yeah, so one thing that we've kind of been charged ourselves with is to kind of, I guess, challenge our creativity, right? So we do a few late night events with some dancing. We take the food truck out there, so we have a DJ. That's some of our fun events. But then we do other events themed around other things like Stranger Things. We've done one of those.
Okay.
We did a Cuban night as well. So we try not to kind of fit into a box and just really challenge ourselves to do something new and different on a regular basis.
Okay, that's awesome. And then you also have catering services.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously we have the food truck. We've done a ton of weddings since we started that in 2019. We do a lot of lunch drop-offs as well. And then we also have a private room on the landing as well called the Rose Room that you can book for a more intimate micro wedding even. 25 to 50 people fit perfectly in there.
That's awesome. So many things to offer. I mean, even like probably businesses can rent out the space to do luncheons, to do events and stuff like that.
Yep, 100%.
Okay, great. Well, I'm excited because I'm going to try out some food from the menu. And then, of course, you know, I'm going to hop behind the bar and make some of their specialty cocktails. So stay tuned. Johnny, thank you so much for chatting with me.
Glad to have you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Sitting down now, I'm back with Johnny, and we have some food options in front of us that I'm so excited to try, because remember, this is a Cali-Mexican cuisine. And so what do we have in front of us?
So the first dish is going to be our queso fundido. It's going to be cast iron baked cheese with mushrooms on top.
Okay.
And then here we have our Mexicali dumplings.
Those dumplings are so beautiful, by the way. Just aesthetically, they're amazing. And these are appetizers, right?
Correct.
On your menu. All right, so explain to me this first one that I'm going to taste.
Yeah, so we got the cast iron dish. We fill it up with jack cheese. There's some rajitas, which is going to be pretty much like a fajita vegetable mix. We bake that, get that nice and hot, throw on the al pastor mushrooms, a little bit of shiitake, a little bit of oyster mushroom in there, pineapple tepache, and it's a good contrast to like a queso dip. This is going to be your actual stretchy cheese. And you basically just make little veggie, cheesy tacos. You can add chorizo, we have a street corn version as well, and then it comes with a little bit of side of tortillas. I think our appetizers are more like small plates in that they can be like a mini entree, but they are meant to be shared with your guests.
Okay, these are, okay, so you have a little tasty taste of everything.
Yep,
all right, let's
100%.
see.
Check it out. What do you think? Super good?
On first arrival.
You got the pineapples cooked down, a little sweet, so like the chutney flavor, and then you got the mushrooms, have a little bit of spice to it.
It's so great. So the pineapple that you spoke of, so that hits me first, the flavor. That sweet taste just makes it warm and inviting as I eat it. And then that little spice that you spoke of is just so perfect. It's a really great blend. Hold on, I gotta get another bite. Is this a popular dish?
Yeah, we have it in taco version, and this is again a really fun small plate. So a good vegetarian option too.
And tell me about the tortillas.
So yeah, so one thing is like a lot in the Midwest, a lot of people use yellow corn tortilla. We use that for enchiladas, but for our tacos and our small plates, we do use white corn because they have a little bit of a milder flavor of corn. And I think a lot of people aren't used to that necessarily in the area, but over there it doesn't overpower the proteins that you have, and it's gonna again just let the protein speak for itself.
Protein is great. And I also love anything served in a cast iron.
Yeah, it really elevates everything.
And of course, washing it down
Oh yeah.
with a yummy cocktail. Cheers. All right. Yum, yum. Okay, next we're gonna tackle these dumplings. So tell me all about them.
So the dumplings, one of our like staff favorites, and I think a crowd favorite now for everybody. You think like dumplings, why are they on the menu? But these are the Mexicali dumplings because in Mexico there's a town called Mexicali, it's a border town, but that's actually where a lot of Chinese immigrants settled. So there's a lot of people that are from Chinese descent that actually have a lot of their recipes and everything like that that have been influenced from the ingredients that are available there. So this one's gonna be a shrimp and pork dumpling, traditional wrapper on the outside, and a couple sauces. We have a traditional salsa verde and then a salsa macha, which is like a very like almost like the classic like chili oil sauce that you would get in an Asian restaurant. It has toasted peanuts in there, sesame, and it's finished with a little bit of micro cilantro too.
Wow. This has so much going on, and I love it.
No, that's good.
It's like a burst of excitement when I tasted it in my mouth.
Yeah, you like it, a little bit of ginger in there, a little bit of scallion.
I love ginger. Wow, so what is the meat?
It's gonna be a shrimp and pork, and we just mix it all together. So it's very rich. We use the Wood Farms pork, and I think their protein has a lot, I would say, fuller flavor. But the salsa macha just has that little bit of nuttiness, and then a touch of sesame just really makes it seem like I would say it's a proper fusion. It doesn't seem like forced fusion because it's literally like influenced from an actual, like I'd say, area where this naturally came together. It wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna put these two things together because I think this sounds good.
Right.
It's just kind of found that way.
And that meat is literally cooked to perfection.
Awesome.
It's so tender and so flavorful and just so like yummy. And I love when I can taste something and I'm like, okay, I have to wait to identify all the flavors. So we've tried the appetizers. Next up, we're gonna try a couple of entrees.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. All right, Johnny, we have the appetizers. I'm ready for the entrees. What do we have?
Guys, like first, right away, I think people are gonna ask like, why do you have pasta and enchiladas in the restaurant, right? So here we have our enchiladas. I think probably our most traditional dish on the menu.
Okay.
And then here we have the chorizo bolognese. So we can go ahead and start off with enchiladas.
Enchiladas, love enchilada.
Yeah,
It looks like
dig
there's
right
so
in.
much happening. You
Yeah.
got different flavors, so one doesn't have to choose
Exactly.
a sauce. Okay, I love that.
So these are the divorciadas. So that's a style where you get two sauces. You get the red sauce and the green sauce on the same plate. Inside it's gonna be our shredded chicken tinga, which can be like chipotle braised chicken.
Yes, okay.
And then you got your traditional sides of beans and rice. Finish with a little bit of thinly sliced raw onion, a little bit of cotija cheese, and just finish with a little bit of crema right over the top.
Okay. Crema?
It's gonna
What
be
is
more,
that?
gonna be more like think of creme fraiche or like a thinner sour cream. It's not gonna be that really thick dollop of sour cream. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit tanginess.
So much moisture. You know, I've had a lot of dried out food, especially when it comes to enchiladas. You have to get the flavor just right.
100%.
And so when I taste it, I immediately can tell that the chicken has been marinated, right?
Yep.
Okay, tell me about that process.
Yeah, so it's gonna be chicken thigh. It's gonna be marinated with caramelized onions, baked that off with a little bit of oregano. It's gonna be garlic. And it's very simple, definitely like the true home style cooking way of cooking it. I don't think we want to overthink many things. But this, I think, whether I give this to my mom, my grandma, like someone's gonna understand, like, hey, this is authentic, and it's more of like the soul food for Mexican kitchen, and that's how I think of that,
like
especially
that.
for enchiladas. So.
The soul food in Mexican kitchen, I love it. Okay, next to the bolognese.
Yeah, so the chorizo bolognese, the main thing is gonna be it's a very traditional bolognese base, very like chunky, hearty sauce, but it's gonna be made with our house-made chorizo. So again, we use the Wood Farms pork, and then we make our own chorizo paste.
Oh.
We toast the chilies, toast the garlic, everything like that together. The spices blended in. So it's a little bit of spiciness to it with the chorizo in it. It has the rigatoni pasta, a little bit of pepita gremolata to give it a little bit of zestiness, a little bit of crunch from the pumpkin seeds, and then finish with a little bit of whipped ricotta.
Okay, so we gotta talk about this dish a little bit, okay? Because
Yeah.
I'm tasting some flavors. First off, now, okay, let's talk about the texture. Dente, what is it?
Al dente?
Al dente.
Yep.
It is. It's cooked perfectly in that. So that is when it has a little bit of chew to it. It's not too soggy as a noodle, and you
exactly.
all hit that.
And
okay.
the pasta is like a semolina flour, so it's going to have a little bit of that snap, that bite, right? And it's, again, you need that kind of sturdy noodle to handle the sauce. I used to work in an Italian restaurant growing up, and this kind of one thing about the menu is very personal in a sense. We're like, it might not make sense to the general public, but for me, that's why it deserves a spot on the menu. And just working in an Italian restaurant, a lot of the ingredients are kind of very similar. You got oregano, you got crushed tomatoes too.
Yes.
But this is a way again to like just capture it all in one plate. Finish it with the pepita gremolata, where it's like you get that, I don't know, that traditional Italian flavor, honestly, but you get the wisp of like my take on it too, that little bit of accent, I say,
Yes.
on the in the
And that's
full
the
dish.
fun thing about you being the owner. So you get to kind of use whatever you want. It's your decision. And I love that you brought these different flavors and flares because you're really doing a service to the people who are eating it because we get to experience something different.
100%.
And that's so great. So, is there ginger in here?
There's not ginger, there is a little
What
bit
am
of
I
nutmeg
tasting?
in there.
Nutmeg, that's what it is. Okay, that's exciting. And then you have the pumpkin.
So
Seeds
pumpkin
on
seeds,
top.
yep. And so we blend just garlic, lemon zest, and then it has the pepitas, the pumpkin seeds.
Okay.
And that's what adds like that zesty fragrancy with also the crunch of the pumpkin seeds.
Okay, that's delicious. And what I love, of course, I feel with everything that I've eaten and drank here so far, it gives you that heat. It gives you that spice, that
I would say-
undertone.
I would say that we don't shy away. I think it's very bold flavors.
Yes.
And a lot of times, like people might think it's like spice, like heat, but it's more spice in terms of like seasoning and flavor, right? And it's kind of sometimes hard to distinguish the two. But if
Yes.
you want extra spicy food, we can do that. Or if you want something more mild, we can do that too. So
Okay,
there's
extra
range on the menu for
listen,
sure.
I love it because it comes. It's like you can taste the flavor first, and then it hits you with the spice, and that makes a good blend. So this is delicious. Johnny, thank you so much for having me today. This has been amazing. And of course, you guys know as I taste everything, I have to let you know what Jessica's favorite pick is. So here it is. For the appetizers, I love the dumplings. It is something different, unique. It's bold in flavor, it's soft, it's chewy, and it's amazing. So that's gonna be my favorite pick. Then for the entrees, my favorite pick is going to be the bolognese. It is, because I do like a pasta, and I think that the pumpkin seed and the nutmeg on top really adds something unique and different. So there it is. You have to come out to Mercado and try these options yourself and let me know what you think. Cheers, and we'll be right back.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
As we transition into the new year, you may be transitioning into the home buying process. And did you know that Fort Wayne was just called a hidden gem by popular website The Daily Beast and the top 5 hottest housing market by Realtor.com? So today we are back with our real estate rundown with Alison Rhinehart. Hi, Alison.
Hi, Jessica.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. It's great to be back.
Yes, great to have you. And I know that so much is happening right now in the housing market. I mean, it's ever changing, right?
It is ever changing. And the big surprise for 2023 in Fort Wayne's housing market is that it's really, do you want to take a guess whose market it is? Buyers, sellers?
Ooh, maybe the seller's market?
You would think that. It was last year for
okay.
sure. But now they're calling it a no one's market.
Oh.
It's not a buyer's or a seller's market.
So it's neutral.
So
like
it's pretty neutral. It's been adjusting for some time. We've talked about that.
Yes.
But now it's a no one's market. And that's because Fort Wayne is faring pretty well in terms of a changing market. We're just kind of evening out, okay? So sellers are going to still enjoy more of a relative gain in housing prices, back to that 3.5% gain a year, which is typical for Fort Wayne's market.
Okay.
But then buyers are going to get more time to kind of negotiate. They're going to have a little bit of negotiating power, but it's really not switching back and forth to anyone's market.
Okay, so is the top of the year the best time to buy or the most popular time?
I think it's a great time to buy right now. It's really, what we've seen is just a quick switch from a seller's feeding frenzy, right, in the market. Like, buyers just didn't have much negotiating power at all for the past year, but now they do. We have the interest rates also that are kind of scaring the buyers, but I'm saying don't be scared. It's a great time to buy. Buy now, refinance later.
Okay, so as people are buying and exploring the market and kind of seeing what's out there, I'm sure there may be mistakes that they're making that they want to avoid. So can you share with us the biggest mistakes that buyers are making right now?
The biggest mistakes buyers are making right now is to say, I'm going to wait until the rates change.
Oh.
Okay. So they're not changing.
Okay.
They're not expected to change from what they are today, which is around 6.5 to 7%, huge change from last year, but they're not going to change much this year. So if you're saying, I'm going to wait, I'm just not going to buy anything, but you need to buy, that's a mistake. Don't wait, because you'll be waiting maybe for a very long time.
For a long time,
For a very long
so just
time.
start the process
Start the process.
and get it rolling.
And when they drop, you can always refinance.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so you're not fully locked in. And the rates, I'm sure they will continue to fluctuate. So on the seller side, let's talk about that. So the buyers have this power that they have, but the sellers need to market their home. So what are mistakes that sellers are making?
Yeah, the biggest mistake a seller is making right now in this market is not changing their mindset. They're still stuck back in last year's mindset, thinking I can get the highest price possible. I don't need to negotiate. They're overpricing, and they're expecting the buyers to come to them. So they need to be a little bit more competitive going into 2023. The second mistake I see right now especially is waiting to put your house on the market. I'm hearing this all the time, especially in January. And Jessica, here's the thing. I love a house that goes on the market in January or February. Why is that?
Why?
Why? Because Fort Wayne is a very traditional market, right? So a lot of the homes that come on the market is in the springtime. So why not be the new, bright, shiny, wonderful object on the marketplace if you think of your home as a commodity before that, before you have all the competition? There's very little on the market right now. So if you're thinking about selling your home, I love a home that goes on the market in January or February to capture your buyer early, because there are still buyers out there that didn't get their home in 2022.
Wow, that is so true. And I also feel like it's a browsing time. The top of the year, people are making changes and they're trying to plan out what they want to do in the new year and their goals that they want to accomplish. And even if they're not ready to buy, they will surely be looking.
Absolutely. And I love this. I always tell buyers, go to open houses. Start seeing what you like, seeing what neighborhoods you like, seeing where the pricing is, and then target, right? So you start out with a wide net. Maybe you go to one neighborhood here, figure out what you like, what you don't like, get a consensus, right? With your partner, your family members. What do you guys like? And then when that comes on the market, go for it.
Yeah, I love that because you're just better prepared.
You are.
Better prepared. Okay, so last, tell me about what you're seeing right now that
Yeah.
are some of your faves, because as you're looking at the homes, I love to know what you like right now.
Oh gosh, I love going into these luxury properties
Yes.
sometimes and seeing how these people are living. It's pretty amazing because then you see the trends
Yes.
of what's coming up in the housing market. I'm loving these tricked out kitchens.
Oh.
Really the kitchen, we've talked about this
Yes,
before.
yes, like
it's
the double
kind of that's where the
island.
heart is, that's where the family gathers. You see the double islands more and more. Not just one island where people are sitting, but two.
Yes.
You're seeing more and more of these big pantry spaces and these
so important.
prep kitchens that are kind of behind the main kitchen, which is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So you're seeing a lot of these neat features that are coming up in the kitchen.
I love that so much, and that's great. So right now, as people are looking to purchase a new home or possibly sell their home, they need the right guidance. And as a licensed realtor, you all have a special and promotion going on right now?
That's right. Okay,
Okay.
so for the month of January only, I'm offering 1% back. So that is a huge savings. The one thing you have to realize in this market, because it's changed and the economy has changed, this is a lot of savings for people who want to put their house on the market and need expert advice. So if you want to take advantage, the idea is to agree to contact us now, today, this month. If you want to sell anytime during the year,
Okay.
you'll get 1% back.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Allison. And as you heard, that was fantastic information to kick off the new year. So to learn more about the services that Allison and her team has to offer at the Reagan Ferguson Group, you can contact them today. We'll have the information listed below, and we'll be right back. Well, that's our show for today, but have you entered into our gift card giveaway? We are giving away over $100 worth of gift cards to M. Vince Nail Spa. So head over to our Instagram or Facebook page to enter. And also, if you missed an episode of Living Local 15, you can catch up on our YouTube or WANE.com. And remember, your smile has the power to improve someone else's day. So share your smile and make it a fabulous week. I'll see you here tomorrow.